Today, we're sitting down with Kim Cole and Andrew Pieper from Hillwood, the team behind Landmark, the 3,200-acre master plan community on the southwest side of Denton. This thing is set to redefine what it means to live, work, and play in Denton. From preserving Pilot Knob and forest land to future homes, parks, and that HEB. This is one of the biggest projects Denton has ever seen. On today's episode of If You Didn't Know, Denton's got it all. The food, the music, the art, and of course the people. And behind every corner, there's a story worth sharing. And that's what this podcast is all about. Denton's best, one conversation at a time. I'm Brad, and this is If You Didn't Know, Now You Know. Okay, yeah, welcome to today's episode of If You Didn't Know. Really excited to have Kim and Andrew from Hillwood with us today, talking about the Landmark Development Master Plan Community. Andrew, welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Brad. Happy to be here.
Yeah, excited to have you. And Kim, thank you so much for being here as well.
Thank you.
Excited to talk to y'all.
You got the A-team today.
That's right.
Or the Twin Towers.
Twin Towers.
Yeah. Well, I thought Ross Pro Jr. himself was coming, but no.
Yeah.
You got the C team.
I don't believe that. Yeah. Well, on that note, I mean, what is it like working with such an iconic, I mean, the family name and that family? I mean, I guess I've just got to start there and ask that question.
Yeah, and I can speak honestly because this is my only job. I've worked at Hillwood since college, so just celebrated my 16th anniversary at the company, and I can tell you, just up and down the organization, it's just an incredible place to work. You know, with Ross Jr. as our leader, he sets the tone. Mm-hmm. We were fortunate to spend some time and share an office with Ross Sr. for a few years before he passed.
Wow.
And just an incredible legacy, living legend. And so it's an honor to work with the Perot family and Ross Jr. And really be a part of something that's, bigger than just a real estate company.
Yeah.
The Perot family is ingrained all across our country, supporting our military, humanitarian causes.
Yeah.
And so really just across the board, much of which folks don't even know about. But
right.
It's really a really neat organization to be a part of.
That's cool. And Kim, how long have you been with Hillwood?
So in November, it'll be 4 years.
Okay.
So I wasn't I haven't been a lifer.
A lifer.
Yeah, she
but
got here as soon as
I got
could.
Exactly. I got here as soon as I could. It's been a really wonderful ride over the last 4 years of, the opportunity to work in the organization. I mean, Andrew summed it up. You can't get any better from an integrity.
Yeah.
And just do what you say what you do kind of mentality, hardworking, very giving family. So really fortunate that I had the opportunity to come and work here.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'll tell you, from an outsider's perspective, I mean, what you're describing makes total sense that's how they are, because you see it permeate throughout their developments and everything they do. I mean, it's just first class, and I've always been so impressed with everything that Hillwood does, and so excited to talk more about that today. So yeah, Ross Pro Jr. founded Hillwood. He bought about 13,000 acres in Fort Worth. It became Alliance, Texas, kind of one of the first, really maybe the first ever industrial airport, right? Mm-hmm. And that just transformed the western side of the Metroplex, and obviously from Fort Worth to Denton. And I grew up in Denton County, so anytime you go down 35W, it's like nothing, Alliance, nothing in Fort Worth, right?
Right.
Now it's all growing together, and Landmark here is going to help kind of pull it together even more. So.
When I started at Hillwood 16 years ago, I remember Landmark, which was then called Hunter Ranch.
Yeah.
And it was always that project we would get to one day.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of on the periphery, and we didn't focus on it, and just was so far north it felt like, kind of the edge of the Metroplex, which it was. And a couple years ago, we kind of looked up and said, "Hey, we're here now, and it's time." And so it came kind of quicker than I think we all thought. But
well, I got to believe that the great reception that First Harvest and then Pecan Square had in those communities obviously different towns, different school districts, but still kind of the success that you've enjoyed in those communities, I imagine says, hey, you know what, we could go just a little further north
100%.
too.
Yeah, we really hope to continue on our success, not only at Alliance, multifaceted. We've got retail, office, hospitality, industrial, airport, and then single family and multifamily. So yes, we're kind of bringing that up the corridor, up 35W. We've been in this corridor for probably 35 plus years now. We'll be here for another 35, 50 years.
I believe that.
And so we always joked, I think that's why we got put on this project, because we might be able to see the end of it. It's certainly going to be a long one, but we're excited. And yeah, we're along Texas, we're along North Texas, we're along 35W and Denton County. So,
and now you're along Denton.
City
of Denton.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Well, I again, we've watched from afar, a little bit afar, so to speak, in what you've done in Tarrant County, and then moving up into those master plan communities. But bringing that all the way into the city, I mean, we're excited. Those of us in the community, we're really excited. I'd say those that understand what Hillwood does, and the rest of them will figure it out.
Yeah.
But what those of us that know kind of what your game plan is and the way you're going to develop this, it's going to transform that little section of Denton. So.
And that was part of, getting the project teed up, was really getting people on board with our track record, our history, and, it's a level of trust. And we're coming into a new community here where we haven't developed before. But the good news is we do have a track record for 35 years just south of here. And so we encourage everyone along the way, hey, if you're looking to see what kind of quality we're going to deliver, look no further than 35W and Alliance. So that was big. It will continue to kind of impress that on folks. And hopefully as we come out of the ground, you'll start to see that come to life.
I know we will. Well, so let me officially introduce our guest today. Kim Cole is the VP of Strategic Development at Hillwood Properties. More on the commercial side, right?
That's correct.
Hillwood Properties is kind of the commercial arm.
Yeah, so Hillwood Properties is really everything that's not single-family residential.
Okay.
So if you think about every asset class in real estate, we're doing it up to and where you get to single-family homes, and that's where Andrew and the communities team really takes over.
Yeah.
But that's been the core competency of everything that we've done at Alliance, is built around that commercial, retail, hospitality, and industrial program.
Yeah.
That we've seen such success over. So we've got tons of relationships. We're excited to bring them in to Denton.
Yeah.
So.
And we're really complementary. I mean, when we develop communities and homes are built, residents move in.
So Andrew, you're on the residential side, VP of Hillwood Communities,
That's right? Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, as we develop communities, homes are built, residents move in. They need retail, they need services. We're creating a lot of jobs too in the region, and so they need beds to sleep in at night. And so it's very complementary and back and forth. And so we very much support each other. We create a lot of the demand that properties can enjoy, and vice versa. So
every retailer out there wants to know where the rooftops are.
Absolutely.
Retailer, corporations, grocery stores.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Where are the rooftops?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yours is unique. I mean, it's early still in your commercial side of things, but to be able to announce somebody like HEB so early on, I mean, really before you've got one house on the ground is very unique.
It's crazy. And when I say it's crazy, typically if you listen to traditional real estate, they'll tell you that rooftops 5 years later, you're going to get retail. Right. But I think, it's a testament to the corridor and everything that these guys at Communities did across with Harvest and Pecan and the quality they built.
Right.
Now the market's there. Even before they get to the next, houses. And so we were super fortunate to land a quality company like HEB. It's really going to set the tone. And I think for us, when we look at it, that's what we want to do. We want to set the tone and think about the next layer, the next quality of what we've done at Alliance, and just push all of that forward into what we do at Landmark. So,
well, and the I mean, I guess with HEB, you've probably right behind that other retailers are like, HEB, huh? Sign me up too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
No,
it's
we're
already
getting a lot of calls. Our retail leasing team is fielding calls now. I think, we want to be very, very intentional about what we put on the ground. And so we just don't want to go out there and just sign the first guy that walks up.
Sure.
We want to be intentional, make a place that, the residents of Denton, the residents of Landmark, and the surrounding community can come and feel like they're there. Right?
And now this is just to confirm, Kim, our HEB, they're under construction or soon to be. I mean, this isn't one of those where they're going to sit on it for 10 or 20 years.
No,
pieces
they
of
are
dirt.
physically turning dirt right now.
Yeah.
So
exciting.
that's really exciting. If you
That
drive
is.
past it, there is a big flat pad being graded.
Yeah.
That's what I will say.
Yeah. If I could just zoom out too, Brad, just a little bit, just to talk about our positioning with Landmark. You look at the North Texas Metroplex and landscape, you've got Fort Worth, you've got Dallas, and you've got North Dallas.
Right.
You've got kind of 3 of the 4 quadrants are, basically built out or almost maximized. There's some infill spots here and there. Really, that North Fort Worth quadrant is really the last of the 4 to really kind of grow.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we've been seeing alliance growth over the last 30 years, but it's not even close to being done. And so when you look at where Landmark is in that, 4 quadrants, I mean, we're on the same coordinates as Frisco.
Yep.
And so you just think Frisco and North Dallas, it doesn't feel like it's out there. I mean,
No.
so, just I think all these developers, retailers are looking at this map and they're seeing this void in North Fort Worth. A lot of retailers, HEB included, are saying we need a flag and we need a location here. And so you're going to see over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, growth continue up the 35W corridor, crashing straight into Denton. And you've got, growth coming west on 380.
Yeah.
And so, we're going to be infill before we know it, just like Frisco is. It's hard to believe now, but just looking at the demographics and the maps, it's coming.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, the
It's
northwestern quadrant is where it's at.
Yeah.
Right. Dallas is going north of 380
Right.
to Anna Melissa.
Yeah.
At some point, jobs and corporations are going to need to fill back in on this side, and we've already seen it at Alliance over the, with all the relocations that were happening. At Westlake and Circle T, we've got Fidelity, Deloitte.
Yeah.
I mean, some Charles Schwab.
Circle T is
I mean,
amazing.
those are great corporations that are going to not only provide people with jobs and everything else, but all the supporting pieces that come with it, hospitality. And so we want to kind of bring that to the northwest quadrant of the Metroplex.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
You just love it. I mean, our mall in Denton is the Golden Triangle Mall. So we were it used to be the Golden Triangle, Dallas, Fort Worth, Denton at the top of that triangle, and the 35s kind of bringing it together. Well, certainly once Frisco, McKinney, and Collin County, really started popping. Okay, it's a lot of that growth shifted that way, and it's like, is anything? Are we still at the top of the triangle? And so now I tell people that aren't from around here, it's the Golden Square. It's a Denton.
Right.
I like
Denton's,
that.
squaring off that
that.
square.
Yeah.
That's
Do I have
really good.
permission to reuse that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put it on the website.
The Golden Square.
The Golden Square. Okay. Well, let's talk about the name Landmark. I might be jumping to conclusions here, but I think it might have something to do with that iconic landmark there as a part of your community, that Pilot Knob landmark. So am I onto something?
You might be onto something.
Okay, good.
We probably spent way a little too long. I think we 20 seconds. I think we spent 2 years.
Yeah, we could do a whole nother podcast on the
How you came
Evolution
up
of
with
the
that
name.
evolution of the name.
Yeah.
Well, and we joke about it, but
Yep.
this is a legacy project, and so
man.
we wanted to be super intentional with the name. And there was tons of ideas. There were probably really good names, sprinkled in there. But I think for us, it's kind of like how we approach developments in general. It's not going to be what sometimes it jumps out at you. You kind of like let it layer
marinate,
out
yeah.
and reveal itself to you
Yeah.
to feel really good about saying this is what I'm going to call this development for the next 20, 30 years, especially when Andrew and I just every day we walk into the office like, just don't screw it up. Right? Just don't screw it up.
Yeah. It is such an iconic, I mean, that that landmark is so iconic for any of us that are around here. Even just if you've traveled through the area, you know, you just see that hill rising up with all those trees. And I think the highest point in Denton County.
Yeah, we were saying that for
Debating?
a while,
I think
and
it's
then
Denton.
someone
Someone
proved us wrong. I think we're the second. But,
Second highest,
you know,
okay.
Maybe it's Denton proper.
There you
Yeah,
go. We'll
maybe
go with
that,
that.
yeah.
We'll go with that.
But
I'm sure somebody will fact correct us.
It was kind of the name that was right in front of us the whole time. Like Kim said, we spent a lot of time on it with consultants and internally and with the family, and really wanting to make sure that everyone was happy with it.
Yeah.
And that we were creating something that would last, you know, a lifetime. And, you know, this is a bigger project than I think Kim and I are used to and our divisions are used to, because this is really a true master plan from the very beginning.
Right.
So fully integrated commercial, retail, single family. You know, we've done master plans and we carve off, you know, a hard corner for a gas station and a grocery store. But I mean, this is so much more than that. And so the name really had to have that kind of gravity of place, almost a city within a city. A lot of the names felt almost too small. Right. But as we zoomed out and we're looking at just kind of the raw beauty of the project, we had Pilot Knob, which we can get into more in a minute, and all the allure of it and the history. And it was a landmark for early settlers. It was a landmark for pilots, you know, flying in the air. It's a landmark. I think just driving down.
Indigenous tribes before that, right?
Yeah.
We're using it as a landmark. Yeah.
So I think really at the end of the day, this is a landmark. It's been a landmark for centuries.
Right.
It's a landmark community for Hillwood. It's a landmark community for the city of Denton, and it's a landmark really for this region. So it just kind of resonated.
And the good news is, and it took a lot of you know, which Andrew talked about trust earlier. I think there was a lot of like, you're going to tear it down and you're going to.
Right.
Yeah.
And like Andrew and I just look at each other every day and like, why would we ever do that? I mean, we have this really great gym that nobody else in the Metroplex has. Why would we go
use
destroy
it?
it?
Yeah.
Well, the first thing we did in 2020 when we got our zoning approved with Denton, literally the first thing we did was put Pilot Knob into conservation easement.
Right.
So
it's forever
it's
that way.
Perpetually, preserved. And, you know, the city really was special to them, special to us. We just agreed to agree, hey, we're just going to take it off the table, put it in conservation easement, protect it, and we're going to base our whole community around it.
Well, and I think, you know, I do some development work, nothing to the scale of Hillwood, but developers often get a bad rap for, just coming in, trying to make some money and get out, right? And not being part of the community or not caring about the community. And again, that's one thing I want to definitely share, that I know Hillwood's different in that way, and I love it. And not all developers are that way, and Hillwood is top notch. And so just to be to know that, certainly when I heard, okay, they're going to develop that, what's going to happen with that? But there was no question in my mind that y'all would integrate that and make it, just keep it as a.
We'd be silly to do anything else. So
well, and you know, we want people to get up and enjoy the property, right? As we develop and as we can kind of get, you know, trails built and everything else, we really want to encourage folks to come out and enjoy themselves. I think it helps us, just continue to create that sense of community.
Yeah, and everyone knows Pilot Knob, as you say, from Denton. And it's funny when you start talking to people around town. A lot of people have stories of going up into Pilot Knob and you know, doing their thing and over the years,
jumping the fence. And
We're just like cover your ears.
Yeah. So.
I can't say I've ever done it, but I've been tempted. It looks like something that'd be fun to do. Yeah. So I look forward to when it does.
And we can't wait to open it up. I mean, it's been kind of under wraps, you know, for so long, and so to finally kind of open the doors here shortly to the public, I think it's pretty exciting.
Those people, how many of them said they were kind of looking for Sam Bass's gold up
there?
No,
there's actually the second question after, are you going to keep it the way? Where's Sam Bass's gold?
Did you find his gold?
Yes. And the deal is, if you find it, we get a cut.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's the deal.
You two.
Us,
just the two of you.
Not Ross.
All right. Well, I want in on your pack. That story is true though, right? I don't know about the gold.
Yeah, I mean, there's a cave out there. We can show you.
I don't know about
the
gold part, but as far as Sam Bass having hidden out there, and
we
think
haven't
it's
found any. folklore
Yeah.
is the best we've come up
Yeah.
with, maybe.
Okay.
But I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. You know,
Yeah.
if you needed a hideout.
There's some
It's a
caves
good-
out there. There's scratchings on rocks and so forth. So
So cool.
it's a cool story.
So you said that this property has been owned by Hillwood or the Perot family since you started. I mean, how long have they owned
So
this
I
land?
think it was mid '80s. They
Okay.
purchased the property from the McCutcheon family. Before that, it was the Payne family. So I don't know, Kim, maybe it was 100 years, 3 families.
Yeah.
And so really tight history of ownership.
Is this the full 3,200? I mean, I know you've got some stuff on the east side of 35W as well, or were those acquired in different parcels over the years?
Maybe so. Maybe
Yeah.
so. I know John Payne really owned a lot of the land in this area.
Right.
He ran cattle. And, there's actually one of the early, I think it was called the Normal School, was located on property. So really interesting history as we went back and looked into it. And so we're doing our best to really kind of honor that legacy of the land and its incorporation in Denton as well.
Yeah. And so now, today out there, what's going on? You said that we could see a pad for HEB. I know there's roads being cut in for the houses. What is that? What's kind of what would we see if we could just kind of
I could
fly
tell you I
over
was
it
out
right
there
now?
today. I almost got my car stuck in the mud. But,
Yeah.
we got a jump start on the commercial, and so we broke ground in August of 24.
Yeah.
So we're a little over a year into our development. Our first phase is comprised of 750 lots that we've contracted to 9 home builders. Really, we believe top tier home builders in the Metroplex on a variety of different products and price points. And so we're excited to kind of bring that to market. As you said, our other projects to the south are kind of wrapping up, Harvest and Pecan Square. And so this fits really nicely into just kind of filling that pipeline of demand for housing in this corridor. So we're probably 60 days from delivering model lots to our builders. They'll start construction. They can build model homes in probably 30 days. So I would say January, February, you'll start to see homes on the ground, and we'll be selling. Really going into the spring market, we should be kind of up and running full tilt.
Oh, wow.
Selling homes, and we'll have certainly residents occupying next year. So.
Wow. That is incredible. I saw that somewhere that spring of 26 is when you're shooting for model homes.
target.
And I thought, is that going to be possible? I didn't realize I could throw up a model home in 30 days, though.
Yeah,
So that makes sense.
It's pretty impressive. A lot of the builders have gotten their build times down. And then also we've got a really incredible amenity facility, a community center in our first phase. We actually tucked it kind of up and in one of the knobs, southern knob. Surrounded by trees, it's just blended into nature. A lot of glass. You kind of indoors, you feel like you're outdoors, and you kind of immersed in nature. And so, we're really excited about it. We think it's a one-of-a-kind amenity in the Metroplex. It's on the back side of the knob. You can't see the highway. You can't hear the traffic.
Right.
There's no wind. You got views to the west of sunset. I mean, it's just.
That's awesome.
I can't wait for our amenity and for our residents.
So cool. And so 750 lots in this first phase. Ultimately, is it upwards of 6,000 lots?
Yeah,
Is that right?
we'll be. I mean, it'll kind of depend how dense we go and what product mix we have. But yeah, we're targeting around 6,000 single-family detached homes. Kim and her team have plans for multifamily. And so in our mind, once we get up and running, we'll continue to expand our product segmentation. We hope to provide more dense and more attainable price points on one end, and on the other end, I think we'll actually go bigger too and have some larger lots. And when you combine that with the rental, I mean, we hope to really capture all segments from kind of rental to first-time home buyers to move up to retirees and downsizers. So.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's the benefit too, is that not everybody can buy a house today,
Right.
right? And so what's the first thing you out of college,
Typically
you get an
rent.
apartment,
Yeah.
and what we like to do is make sure that we have a very robust activity side of our multifamily division that kind of complements what Hillwood Communities does with their single family amenities. And so we kind of like to think about this. You could start with a Hillwood apartment and you can move to a Hillwood home and then continue down. Move up.
Yeah.
And so we really want to keep that customer with us the whole
100%.
time.
And in schools inside of
yeah.
Lamb, at least at some point, but you've got areas reserved for the school district.
100%. It's one of the most important things in our business, single family business, developing communities. We cater especially to younger families with younger children. And so school districts are so important for buyers when they're deciding where they want to buy. We partner with our school districts first and foremost to make sure that we understand where children would go to school. And if we can, let's provide those sites on site to make it as easy as possible. So it's not uncommon. I'd say the majority, if not all of our communities have at least an elementary school. Pecan Square to our south has K through 12 ultimately, so all grades on site. And it's just great when kids can walk to school, bike to school, just feel comfortable and safe and in the community, and they're all playing afterwards at the amenity. It's just great to keep everyone kind of in that ecosystem. So we have been working with Denton ISD. We're fully in Denton ISD. We've identified a elementary school site, which will come. It needs rooftops. But
that does need rooftops.
We will certainly deliver those. I assured them. And then, there's really no schools in Denton ISD west of 35.
Right.
So between Landmark and then our neighbor to the north, the Cole Ranch, we'll have probably 15,000 homes times, 2 or 3. I mean, this is substantial. So there'll be ultimately, many, many elementary schools, a couple of middle schools, and probably one high school at the end of the day. So we're excited to partner with Denton ISD. We've worked with them before along 380. And so we're just kind of early and often staying in front of them to make sure that we're working together.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, so I've got to go back to when we talked about how long the families owned this. And so it started rumbling when, hey, maybe now's the time. It sounded like in the last 5-7 years.
Yeah, that was
2020, right?
That's when we got approved. Yeah, probably. So the property was zoned through Denton, I think, in the 2000s.
Yeah.
And then probably about 2017, 2018, we kind of came back and took another look at it. And we made some changes with the city and staff and council at the time to update it. And so we spent probably a year or 2 years, 18, 19, getting it approved. And then it's funny, I think we got approved in April of 2020, which is right when COVID hit.
Yeah.
So it was like a virtual council meeting, and like everyone's at home, and hands up, and
voting yes on the button or whatever. It was so weird.
So it's a funny story how it ultimately got approved, but.
Well, and there was a ton of work that needed to happen. I mean, one of the reasons, I think, outside of the fact that obviously two families own large, the Hillwood tract and then the Cole Ranch tract that you mentioned. But in addition to that, lots of utility challenges, right? I mean, it just wasn't like, hey, let's just tap into the water and sewer that's right
if
over
you call
here.
challenges none.
Yeah, I call that a challenge.
Yeah.
Just didn't exist over there.
There's nothing over there right now.
Yeah. That was a big part of, I think, why it took so long.
Sure.
First of all, just what do we need? And that was part of it. We did a lot of water studies, sewer studies, roadway studies, just to determine, okay, the whole southwest region of Denton largely is undeveloped. What will it take to bring it online? So, it took a lot of work with the city of Denton and their staff. I give them a lot of credit, and we worked together on zoning. We worked together with our community stakeholders as well. A lot of resident feedback meetings. Right. Ropes and Ranch is our neighbor. We met with them several times. We still meet with them to keep them updated. Working with the county, the state, the school district, just to make sure we're all on the same page.
Are you getting the state on board with expanding some roads up there?
Yeah,
improving some roads.
Yeah, we're pushing. I mean,
trying. Yeah.
Well, the part of the reason you're seeing some of the the constraints of where we started is because it's really the only place we could start.
Right.
And so when Andrew's talking about the time we spent trying to figure out where can you even begin to start a development this size and scale to try to create the rooftops and then be available to support commercial needs of those residents. I mean, if you really look at the map today, that's really the only place we had to start.
And 35, yeah.
And so we're constantly, I mean, Alliance has historically been a driver of a lot of demand. And then our partnerships with TxDOT throughout that time has just been really good. And so we're talking to everybody that will listen about, hey, how can we get this stretch of 35 going? Because it really is. I mean, the market's there. If HEB coming before, houses even go up in a development, if that doesn't tell you
it's
the market's
a great
there,
sign, yeah.
I don't know what else. Here's your sign.
Oh my gosh. Well, so let's talk a little more on the commercial side, Kim. I mean, obviously HEB is the big name that everybody's. But are there any other names that you can announce, but beyond that, like really, what do you've got lots of acres set aside for commercial, and when we say commercial, expand upon what that means. So.
Absolutely. So we probably have available to us maybe anywhere between 600 to 900 acres.
600 to 900 for commercial.
Yeah, that could be commercial.
Wow.
We think about that. What does that mean in terms of development? It can equate on a scale anywhere between 3 to 5 million. Just depends on what you're doing, densities, growth patterns, all of that. But ultimately, we like to talk about it in about 5 million square feet.
Wow.
So that's a lot.
Yeah.
But I think for us, the mix of what that looks like, it's not just going to be, shops and things like that. I don't think it's going to be a mall.
All grocery stores. Yeah.
It's not just going to be a bunch of grocery stores. I think, if you go back and look at what we've done historically at Alliance, and I think Alliance Town Center is a good idea of how you can create a commercial environment integrated in and around offices and other types of uses. I think that's a really good benchmark for us of what this could be. I think you sprinkle in a little bit of the uniqueness that we have in our portfolio of Circle T Ranch, and now you've got there's some really cool sites out there.
Yes.
In and around Pilot Knob, there, that you imagine a corporation wanting to come in and co-locate there, right? So these are kind of the big visions of what we think about of the opportunities that we have in front of us. What we're looking at today is probably a good grocery anchored corner, but we want to do it better. We want to do it differently. And so I think we'll have some neighborhood services around that. We talk about that corner as maybe 250,000 square feet, just to kind of start.
Yeah.
It feels right.
Yeah.
But we're going to work through exactly how much, and that's my marching orders and our team's marching orders for the coming year.
Yeah.
So,
and one of the advantages I would say to owning 3,000 acres and a property we've had for many, many years and decades now, we can be patient, but also we can think big. And I think we've got a culture at Hillwood of being innovative and being outside the box and big picture thinking. And so 3,000 acres, you can do a lot. And so kind of no idea is a bad idea at this point. And let's think big. Let's not think just 35W, just Denton. I mean, what can we attract national brands here, national users, big office headquarters.
If you just listen to what people are saying about, office market is starting to slowly come back.
Yes.
We are seeing it.
Yeah.
We're seeing it everywhere. It's coming back. It's not as fast as we'd like it, but it's coming back. And I think that brings
some of the largest corporations in the world are making bets that it's coming, or kind of forcing it back in a way. But it's coming back.
It's coming back. And I think, the getting people back to work is really helping with that idea.
Right.
And so if you listen to what they're saying and where corporations want to be, they want to be where their workforce is.
Yeah.
They want to be near amenities. And so I think, when we think about that, that's what starts to drive us to think, okay, I need a range of housing.
Right.
Right. I need hotels and hospitality.
Right.
Where it used to be my office user came, right? And then I built all this stuff. It's flipped itself.
Okay.
The office users want to know, hey, what are you building around me?
Yeah.
Because why do you want to go to work in an office?
Right.
well, if I can provide my, employee with these amenities, then I can make them want to be there. And it's a little bit easier to get them back.
Yeah.
Well, one of the best amenities I think we're seeing for multifamily, for office, is access to open space. Is, I mean, number one amenity. The number one amenity in single family world, when we survey across the country,
Swimming pool. No.
it's trails, trails, trails.
There you
so
go. Okay.
It's
And more trails.
Yeah. So when you think about that, proximity to open space and nature, I mean, we've got that in spades. So that's just a great draw for all of our users, our tenants, and our home buyers. And that's really kind of what draws everyone together. And it's right in the middle of our community. So.
Well, a lot of us for years have been saying, let's get some more corporate relocation into Denton. It's like, yeah, but really where? I mean, really.
Yeah.
Right.
This is it. I mean, in my mind, there's no question what you're describing, Kim, and Circle T Ranch is just a great example. I know it's maybe not going to be the same kind of companies, but there's going to be companies that are going to be thinking about this area differently, and especially given the way that y'all are going to develop it and the natural terrain and the amenities there. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, we're stoked.
Bring them. No pressure, Kim, but bring them all. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, hey, if we can get some roads.
Okay, we need
get
roads
some 35
first.
roads. Yeah.
Well, just from your perspective, I mean, you've done obviously Hillwood's done a lot of master plan communities, but what makes this one, I mean, I think we've probably hit on it, but different, not only obviously the amenities and the landmark itself, but from even other master plan communities in the region or across the country, I mean, we've probably learned a lot of things over the years, and you're just applying all that together.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think you're right. I mean, we have several master plans in the area and in the Metroplex throughout the state, actually. And so with Landmark being our newest, latest, and greatest, we're really trying to figure out what we did well.
Yeah.
And then maybe where we have some opportunities to improve. And so this is kind of our next chapter to be able to make those changes. And those are high bars, honestly. I mean, we hold ourselves to a very high standard. Harvest and Pecan Square have been perennially a top-selling master plan, not only in DFW but in the country. Pecan Square actually is the current master plan community of the year in the entire U.S., which is a pretty cool designation, and certainly a high bar. But I think we're going to have a lot of what you saw in those two communities to our south, but here we've got just an incredible landscape. And everyone, to an extent, has nature, but it's what do you do with it? How do you program around it? How do you land plan around it? And so of our 3,200 acres, about 1,000 of it is open space. And when you get out there, there's almost not a square inch of flat space in the entire property.
Not at all.
We've got incredible upland habitats, which you see from the highway, the knobs. We call her knobs. If you can come up with a better word than knobs.
Please.
We're
give us a better name.
Yeah, hills.
Hills, there
Okay.
you go.
Hills, but they don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
We
Need
that,
something better.
We'll do another 2-year naming exercise on
I know
knobs.
what to call it now.
So we've got these great upland hills,
Yeah.
that are tree covered
Yeah.
with beautiful heritage oak trees on one end. And then you've got incredible lowland habitats on the other end. We've got a 20-acre lake, 100-acre just kind of floodplain corridor.
Right.
And then when you see our homes, they're kind of wedged in between the two. And so when you look at our street grid, on one side you've got a park in the lowlands, and on the other side you've got a park in the uplands. And
That's
so
so cool.
you just got this great access to open space no matter which direction you're looking. And everything is going to be interconnected with trails, not only in our own community, but we're also looking bigger picture. How do we extend, working with Gary Packin and the Parks Department, how do we get from Landmark and the Knobs up to downtown Denton?
Right.
And it's not there now, but how do we promote that, and where are the missing links? And then, how do we connect to Harvest and Pecan Square to the south?
Right.
And then how do we get over to Circle T? I mean, these are big picture ideas that we're starting to think through that, others, and like in the city of Dallas, they're completing the 50-mile loop in Dallas. I mean, we ought to be thinking that in that way here in North Fort Worth as well.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we want this to be a regional destination.
Right.
Right. It's also part of Denton, but it's part of that North Texas region, especially the northwest quadrant.
And I would say too, we're so used to in our world operating and developing in areas that are in the path of growth, that are, greenfield areas, old farms, kind of on the fringe, and maybe up and coming areas that don't quite have their full sense of identity yet, or they're just growing and kind of emerging. And Landmark, it's so unique in that we're now developing in a established town, a municipality that has a deep, rich culture and history and arts and
2
programming.
Universities and
it's like for us, it's incredible because now we're not having to do all this programming. It's already there.
Yeah.
We just need to really embrace it and take advantage of it. And so, part of what Kim and I have been doing for the last 5 years, while we haven't even started yet, is just meeting with folks in Denton, understanding the culture, understanding how do we have a through line in the southwest quadrant to downtown. Yeah. And how do we make this feel like Denton and not just, some satellite community in the southwest quadrant. So that's easier said than done, but I think that's an advantage that we have over maybe some of these communities on the outer rings. Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that we've talked about a lot is just coming into Denton, always kind of knew it was up here for me. I mean, I've been in the Metroplex since 2004. Yeah. And so it always felt like it always had this kind of own identity. And I knew that about it. But then when I got up here and started, working with the city, spent a little bit more time up here, I think the thing that was most telling for me is just it's a big city with a small town kind of community. And I think that, all the stuff we've done with the chamber and the local business conversations that we've had, everybody just knows everybody. Yeah. I'm from a small town, so I get it. I think I mentioned this to Andrew. I was like, it feels like I'm from Bryan, Texas. Yeah. I was like, it feels like Bryan. Yeah. It feels like a bigger Bryan.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean, that was one of the things I was kind of thinking about, like in Hillwood or in Harvest, Pecan Square, even Union Hill. I mean, Union Park. Union Park out on East 380. I mean, some of those areas were, there really wasn't anything out there. It's like you've kind of created a town out of nothing in those areas. This is a little different. Yeah. You're part of our town and really literally in the city limits and part of the town. I mean, it is kind of a little down the road. Yeah. But I think trying to find ways to integrate it in and truly become part of the city. Yeah. And 100%. It's got to be a bit of a challenge, like you said, but I think it's so exciting that you're thinking about it that way.
Yeah, for us, it feels like the next generation of Denton. I mean, no one's going to recreate downtown Denton, but there's so much left to be developed in Denton, and so how do we kind of create that next generation Denton? Yeah, and be honor and pay homage to history and where Denton has come from, but take that further. And so for us, that's kind of exciting to be a part of that story and part of that growth on the front end. And if you look at our boundary lines on the east and west side of 35, we're actually the southern boundary of Denton proper, Denton's boundaries. So we're kind of the gateway into Denton when you're driving north on 35. So we want to embrace that, and we want to invite Denton in and let them be a part of that excitement and growth and write the next chapter of its history.
I can't think of a better gateway there on our southern boundary. So I, really, really pumped about this. What's been kind of your favorite? I mean, you've had a lot of hard times, a lot of challenges. What's been your favorite part of this project so far?
Oh man,
I think some of the early planning and exploration that we did, I think we you walk in and you think what these hills, for me anyways, these hills are. Yeah. These knobs. Yeah. And they're like, oh, they're just, hills. Right. Well, our consulting team that we hired started, I talked about the layers earlier, right? Just started peeling all that back, and you start to think about, oh, well, there's an ecological boundary that's happening between one side of the ranch and the other, right?
Yeah.
Eastern cross timbers to the prairie, right? And so, well, that's cool. That's why there's all these trees on it, right?
Yeah.
And then nothing else on the other side of it.
That's neat.
Yeah.
And then you could start to say, okay, well, why are the hills there? Like, it's flat land. Why? Well, because of back in the Cretaceous period or something like that. I mean, I don't want to nerd out too hard, but
No, give it to me.
You know, this uplift, that happened, and all this sandstone that came up. That's why you see the different, rock formations on the hills than you do everywhere else around it. And so it's just these little things for me. It was the history, the ownership, the educational components that were there that eventually formed into UNT and the Texas Women's University.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
But through that process, because I'm kind of I like history.
No, that's really cool.
But that to me is really cool, and then it gives it something more than just a land and a place. It gives it identity that's beyond us. So I really that was the fun thing for me, at least.
I love it. Well, and speaking of the educational history, I mean, we talked about the public schools, but the STEAM program, right? And you've got different areas. Tell me about that. I'm not sure I even fully know what I'm talking about here.
No, it's you're right. I mean, communities, single-family communities, we always have these what we call pocket parks. They're little parks embedded in the community, and we like to have 5-minute walk to a park, and we'll typically program it with some playground and play features and things like that. That's great. Everyone kind of does that, and for us, we want to take it to the next level and find opportunities to, insert some learning opportunities in those parks. And how do we lift them to make them special or different? And so we're really focused on how do we. We've got this great backdrop and these great natural spaces. We've got these great schools. We've got these great parks. Let's make it something more, and let's make it a learning opportunity for students and our residents and our visitors, and let's really program it so that it's different and it's one of a kind, and you're learning things while you're out in the parks and when you're in the open space. That way, it just has a little bit more meaning to it than just throwing some playground equipment on the ground. Right. So a lot of our parks, you'll see this at Landmark, have themes to them. So we've got Monarch Park, we got a bluegill pond, and we've got playground equipment that's shaped like a bird or a fish, and they've got some educational signage, and we're working on signage for our upland habitats too, about different species of trees and wildlife, and just how do we just go a little bit further with what we're offering that can really be a good differentiator.
Love it.
Yeah,
and a lot of that's going to be open to the public, right? Beyond just your
I mean, a little bit at a time. I wish we could open the whole ranch up to everybody, but we're going to have to kind of take it in bite-sized pieces. But that's the goal.
So exciting. Well, thank you so much, Kim and Andrew. This has been really fascinating. I learned a lot. I knew I was excited about this project, but I'm even more excited after this discussion today. So.
Well, we can't wait to have you out.
So I guess first of all, do you have any Denton restaurants, coffee shops, venues, music venues, anything you've uncovered kind of a little bit as outsiders? You come in, it's like, oh, I really like this place.
I mean, I'm still kind of new to Denton. There's so many places on my list to check out. A lot of my experience the past several years have been at City Hall and council meetings and things like that. But one of the places we'd always go to is Barley and Board, which is no longer around. But I actually just ate at Mexican Oak a couple days ago. So that was a great spot. Yeah. There's so many coffee I'm a big coffee drinker. Yeah. I'm trying to try out all the different coffee spots in Denton, so it might take me a while. But
well, a replacement for Barley and Board is LSA Burger on the square now. So that's an easy pop in.
That's where you're hitting.
That's a good burger.
Grab
sure.
a burger. It's a good burger.
It's pure Denton right there.
Yeah, I have one that I think it's called Osteria Il Moro.
Yeah, Osteria.
Like it's been on my list for a minute. And I
haven't been yet.
I haven't been yet.
You gotta go.
But it just never worked out. Like I can't get a resi. It's hard to get a resi.
It is.
And then my schedule. But
Osteria is worth the effort. And
that's what I've heard.
Yeah, take a translator with you. I mean, they do it. I mean, it's authentic stuff. It's like, okay, you're gonna have to break this down to me in English. Like, what am I eating?
I follow them on Instagram, so I see all the pictures, and it looks really great.
It is great. All right, so we've got hats from Norman Roscoe. We always give our guests, and Andrew brought another hat for us to drop on there, a landmark hat. So you can't pick that one. That's mine. But each of you grab a hat, one of Norman Roscoe's hat here.
Perfect.
Okay.
Love to have you pick one of those as you're on your way out. And thanks again, guys. We're really pleased and excited with progress just around the corner, the homes that we're going to be seeing, and of course that HEB and the other commercial stuff. So thanks again for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you, Brad, for having us, and we're excited to get the word out, and can't wait to host everyone out on site.
Yeah, thanks so much, Brad. Appreciate you.
You bet. Thanks for joining us on today's episode of If You Didn't Know. Now you know Landmark.